Hi buddies. So in this session, my main motive is to cover the topics of paper 16 of CMA final, that too section B. To be precise and to be simple, nothing but quantitative techniques in decision making or simply DM. Okay. So simply in SCM, part B are being discussed by us. Okay. So before going to the topic directly, let us have the brief idea of what are the topics that are available to you. Okay, mainly we are having the topics from 6 to 15, that is in as per ICMA module. I'm telling this information that is from module number 6 to 15. It is regarding section B, and the weightage is clear, that is 40% weightage. And normally in the case of SCM, it is the most scoring part of your entire SCM. Okay, if you're perfect with this part, you are really safe. And this entire 6 to 15 topics are bifurcated into two areas. The very first part, okay, the very first part, if you see there, it has assignment, network analysis, linear programming, transportation, simulation, game theory, and learning curve. Okay, and these are the next balance three topics. Sir, our video mainly is useful. Part 1 is useful for both CMA final and CMA inter. And part 2 is exclusively for CMA final. Okay, mainly my concentration is for CMA final, and these topics, that is assignment, network analysis, linear programming, transportation, simulation, can be used for both the guys. Okay, now I will go topic wise, and also the two most important topics first as a preference. Okay, so very most important topic is what assignment. Okay, so for example, what is the need of basic assignment? Thing is that, sir, normally how to do the work of harvesting the paddy. So I'm having two missions. If I'm using which mission, so that my cost will be minimum. Sir, normally SCM, strategic cost management, while you are doing the problems, you should be view of company's point of view. Okay, you should be acting from whose point of view? Company's point of view. Okay, is it clear? So now you are a company guy, that is, you are the management. So for a management, cost should be minimum or maximum. It should be minimized or simply optimized. So to harvest this paddy, if I'm using this machine or this machine, my main motive is what, to reduce the cost. Okay, so which should mission should be opted, whether this or this is being said by the technique called assignment. Okay, or else, so for doing this job there is a number of staff available to me, but main motive is that from company point of view, again always think from whose point of view, company point of view. From company point of view, so which staff will be doing the work at a faster pace and at lower cost? Because I am the company, my motive is to reduce the cost. If I reduce the cost, automatically my profit part will be more. Okay, company's main motive is basically wealth maximization is okay, but in reality, what is important? Profit maximization. To maximize the profit, what I will do? I will reduce the cost. Okay, so now this is the basic information, and to be clear, so this assignment, okay, if you bifurcate it into parts, assign, that is assign, and M stands for men or a machine, and T stands for task. So now we are doing what, we are assigning men or a machine a task so that our cost is minimized or optimized. Is it clear, What is the purpose of assignment, buddy? When we are in a position that there's one work and there are more than one staff. Basically, we try to get the work done at lowest cost. So who is a better option? Okay, so assign men or a machine a task is the main motive of assignment. Is it clear, If it is clear, normally methods for solving assignment are there four. Okay, but for our way of solving, we are using only Hungarian method. Okay, let us go with that method directly without going in detail unnecessary things and all. So basically, in the Hungarian method, there will be a matrix given to you. Okay, you have to apply some steps on the matrix, and so for a person A, mission 1 is given, or for a person B, mission 2 is given, so that the work done by them will be optimum. Or for work A, which mission should be used? or for person A, which work should be given. So this is a process of allocation, basically, or assignment, assigning a task to men or a machine. So the task should be done at a faster pace. Is this clear, ma? So I give a basic model. This is a basic model. How the assignment problems will be presented. The basic, not the actual problems. Basic lowest level. Okay. And now the very first question is that, sir, we should identify what are rows and what are columns. Do not confuse regarding rows and columns, because that is the very first stage or first starting step for a assignment. In the case of assignment, if you are clear with what is row and what is column, then it is done, because it is a very first basic step. If you are perfect with that step and all, clear, it's done. So in the given scenario, for example, in this matrix, can you identify what are rows and what are columns? Can anyone identify, ma? What are rows and what are columns? So rows, so these are rows. Okay, so normally in this case I'm having how many rows, ma? There are row 1, row 2 and row 3. There are 3 rows. What about columns, sir? The same way we have to identify the columns also. So the columns are M1, M2, M3. Okay, so these are what, ma? They are nothing but they are columns. Okay, is it clear? If it is clear, I'm representing them again and again so that you will be having the clarity. Shall we? So basically these are rows. Okay, and what are columns, ma? M1, M2, M3. So totally there are 3 rows and 3 columns. Okay, so number of rows here it is 3, and number of columns it is 3. Rows equal to columns, basically. So first thing is that you should be in a position to identify the what are rows and what are columns. So by that, this will become row 1, and this will become row 2, and this will become row 3, and this is column 1, column 2 and column 3. Is this clear, ma? This is the first basic fundamental step. If you are identifying that part, then your entire task is done. Okay, shall we go to the next part? Sir, what is the first thing? When you are solving a problem in assignment, you need to check one basic thing, whether the number of rows is equal to number of columns or not. If it is fine, super. The first basic test or check is that number of rows is equal to number of columns. So to identify this, first you should be having the clarity what are rows and what are columns. Is it clear, ma? Next. After that, the next check is that whether the question given is maximization model or a minimization model. These two are the basic fundamental things which you need to go through while solving a problem in assignment. Am I clear, ma? If I am clear, shall I repeat the basic test check, ma? The basic check is that whether number of rows equal to number of columns, and rows are represented with the letter M. What is the letter, ma? M is the letter used to represent rows. And what about columns, ma? The letter used is there nothing but N. Is it clear? If it is clear, fine. So in this case, can you give the information regarding number of rows and number of columns in this case? Okay, so rows total is represented with the letter M. So here there are 3 rows. And what about columns, ma? It is represented with the letter N, and there are 3. So M equal to N, fine. As it is done, basically, the what is the next check, ma? The next important check is that, sir, whether the question given is a maximization model or minimization model. Basically, if they are giving straight away it's a maximization model, you can proceed with some basic rules, and if it is given minimization model, you can proceed with the basic rules. Normally, if they are not giving whether it is minimization model or maximization model, go with the assumption that it's a minimization model. But in reality, 100% times or 100% chances are there to give the clarity. That clarity you can get by seeing the problem. Okay, so in this case, normally how many rows are there, ma? 3 rows and 3 columns. Okay, rows are represented with the letter the rows are represented with the letter what, ma? The rows are represented with the letter N, and columns are represented with the letter N. So normally we represent in the form of M by N. It is not M into N, it is known as M by N. So nothing but 3 by 3 matrix. It is not into, it's by 3 by 3 matrix. It is a mathematical terms and all, normally not required for us. Okay, next. So if the question is silent, then what is the thing, ma? We go with assumption of maximization model or minimization model. Okay, now If number of rows equal to number of columns and it's a minimization model, straight away follow steps. There are good number of 6 steps there. How to follow that? Basically, there are a number of steps, but most important are 6 steps. Okay, and I have mentioned them in the point number 6 also. Okay, now what if number of rows not equal to number of columns? The next thing, sir, if it is okay, fine, and then we have gone through check of minimization model, then it is fine. We will go with the steps. But what if number of rows not equal to number of columns? What we should do, ma? We need to balance it. What we should do? We should balance it, and by adding either dummy row or a dummy column. So if it is not equal, it is known as unbalanced. What is it is known as, ma? It is known as unbalanced matrix. We have to balance it. We cannot solve the problem with unbalanced matrix and all. We have to balance it and then we have to solve. So how to balance? Whether there is shortage in dummy, whether there is shortage in columns or rows. If there is shortage in columns, add a dummy column. If there is shortage in rows, add a dummy row. Then what is this dummy, 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 dummy? So in the case of dummy, the elements will be nothing but zeros. Okay, if the elements are zeros, then you can proceed with that. Okay, when we are adding the dummy column or a dummy row, it is balanced now. When it is balanced and all, you can solve the problem, no issue and all. And in dummies, the elements are zeros. Is it clear, ma? That is most important part. Okay, for example, in this case, can you give the information? What is the order of the matrix? Sir, it is the order of the matrix, basically M by N. M stands for rows, N stands for columns. Here, number of rows 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 3, fine. What about columns now? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 by 4 matrix. Basically, M should be equal to N. Is it equal here, ma? No. As it is not equal here, we have to balance it. Where there is shortage, either in rows or columns, ma, there are only 3 rows, and but we are having 4 columns. The shortage is on the rows side, so we add dummy row. Okay, how to add that, sir? Basically, how to add that, ma? Sir, I will represent a dummy there. It can be different letter dummy, and the elements are 0, 0, 0. Now, when we are adding dummy, represent the what is meant by D1 there. D1 stands for dummy, sir. You mention it. If you're mentioning it, will be fine. Okay. Or else simply you can mention D as a dummy. Now in this case, now can you tell the order of the matrix when I'm after adding the dummy part and all? It is M by N. In M stands for rows, N stands for columns. Here with including dummy, we are having how many rows, ma? How many rows we are having, ma? 4 rows. And what about columns, ma? By adding normally there is no shortage in the case of the columns. So it's 4 by 4 matrix. As it is a balanced one, and if it is minimization model, we proceed with the steps. Is it clear, ma? If it is clear, next, what is the next process there, sir? Sir, if it is a minimization model, then convert into, sorry, if it is a maximization model. So if it is a minimization model, no issue at all. We can solve the problem. But what if it is a maximization model? What is the issue, ma? The issue arises when the given problem is maximization model. So how to solve that? Just convert the maximization model into minimization model and solve the steps. The steps are common. The basic 2 checks here. The most important aspect is this: whether number of rows equal to number of columns is the first part. If it is done, superb. Next, whether the question given is minimization model or maximization. How to identify that, sir? I will show you the next step. Ma, do not be hurry and all. Be cool. Sir, if it is minimization model, no issues, we can proceed. But if it is maximization model, what I have to do, ma? We have to convert it into minimization model. How to convert, sir? So these things and all, I'm giving you the basic examples. Sir, for example, in this case, if the question is maximization model, so you need to identify what, ma? You need to identify the highest element of the given elements. Identify the highest element and deduct from the other elements. So in our case, highest element is 10. Okay. Now what we have to do, ma? 10 minus 10, 10 minus 2, 10 minus 1, 10 minus 4, 10 minus 3, 10 minus 5, 10 minus 4, 10 minus 4, 10 minus 6. Now we form a relatively Ross matrix. Sir, that is the basic part, ma. Rows equal to columns, fine. Next question given it is minimization model, so we can proceed. But if it is given as maximization model, what we need to do, ma? We have to convert it to minimization model. For conversion, among the elements given there, identify the highest element, and from this element, deduct all the elements and form a new matrix. This matrix is known as Relative loss matrix. Sir, in SCM, that too part B, every step is important. Okay, if you are writing every step and all, then you are fine. Sir, straight away will go the answer, then go on. Even though it is for 7 to 10 marks and all in a range, they may give only 4 marks. So it's really risky. Your exemption may go. Be careful, write the stepwise. Sir, if you are doing stepwise and all, normally peacefully if you're taking the time, it will be reasonable time. It will not take much time. But if you're doing in hurry and all, okay, if you're faster, then there may be chance for skipping of step. So my request is that you basically follow the steps. So basically, when we are at this phase, what is this phase, ma? We need to go with a, if it is a maximization model, we have to convert it into minimization model. How to convert, sir? From the elements available, identify the highest element, okay, and deduct all the elements from that highest element identified. Then you form a new matrix, okay. Now when we are solving the problem, we shall go with that option also, but basically not required. So simply I'm telling you, this is the highest element there now. Now what we will do, sir? 10 minus 10. Okay, I'm repeating this process because other than this process, everything is fine. In the case of minimization model and maximization model, it will be same. Okay, 10 minus 2, 10 minus 1, 10 minus 5, 10 minus 3, 10 minus 5, and 10 minus 4, 10 minus 4, 10 minus 6. So after solving this entire one, you get a new matrix. This is known as what, ma? Relative loss matrix. Is it clear, ma? If it is identified as relative loss matrix and all, you can solve it. Then you can go with the basic steps that are applicable in the case of minimization model. Is it clear? That is the only difference between this part and that part. Okay, that's nothing more than that. But heading is important. What is heading, ma? Relative loss matrix. You may skip the heading, but heading is most important. Okay, from exam point of view, every step, heading and all is important. Okay, clear, ma? Next, sir, how to identify the question whether it is a minimization model or a maximization model? Simple logic, sir. Their minimization from company point of view, what they want to minimize, cost items, and from company point of view, what they want to maximize, profit, revenue, turnover, percentage of commission and all. If it is clear, so it is very simple, ma. If the item is related to cost, then automatically we try to minimize. If the item is related to something like revenue, profit, turnover and all, we try to maximize it. Is it clear? So see, so if the question is regarding what, ma? Profit, sales, revenue and all, it is a maximization model. Then we have to convert into minimization model. How to convert and all I have mentioned already. And if a question is related to cost related items, then it is minimization model. This basic hint will be given into the question itself. If it is clear, what are the steps to solve the problem, sir? The very first step is row operation. Sir, headings are very important for you guys. If you are writing the answer perfectly and all, if you are writing without headings, gone. So the most important aspect is what, ma? Headings. What is the first part, ma? Row operation. Second one, column operation. Third one, test for optimality. Here we have to check one most important thing, whether number of rows equal to columns equal to number of allocations. Okay, it must. Otherwise, you have to go for the next step, that is improvement, improved matrix. And there can be next step, diagonal allocation, optimal allocation, and optimal solution. Sir, are these all steps mandatorily to be found in all the scenarios? May or may not. Sir, but the first three steps are common. For every problem, first three steps and last two steps are common. Sir, based on the level of standard, level of problem and all, these two additional steps may be added. Okay, so basically first three and last two are common steps, but remaining steps and all depends upon the problem to problem. Okay, they may vary. Is it clear, ma? If it is clear, shall we go with the next step, buddies? Sir, and also I have drafted everything to be done in the case of assignment in the form of flowchart. First, okay, there can be the keywords of like assignment or optimization of a cost and all. Then automatically you can go with the assignment problem. Then the two checks we have to follow. The first check is that whether number of rows equal to number of columns is the first check. The second check is what, ma? The model of the question, whether it is minimization model or maximization model. So if it is minimization model, no issues, you can proceed. Basically, So let us go to the first step. What is the first step heading, ma? Number of rows equal to number of columns. If it is yes, what do you have to do, ma? Check other part. What is whether to minimize amount. If it is both are done, then follow the steps. Sir, if it is no, then add a dummy and balance it. Okay, add dummy and balance it, ma. Sir, and what about the next check, ma? Minimization model or maximization model? If it is minimization model, super. And as rows equal to number of columns, then we can proceed with the steps. Whatever steps I mentioned earlier, na? Row operation, column operation, test for optimality, diagonal improved matrix, diagonal allocation. Sometimes this can be or optimal allocation, optimal solution. Okay, sir, and if it is a maximization model, what we should do, ma? We need to convert into minimization model, sir. How to convert it? Nothing is that basic logic. You will identify the highest element. From that, we used to form a new matrix, and the heading is relative loss matrix. Why I am repeating is that these are the areas you guys may make mistakes. Okay, now be careful with these areas. Next. This is a flowchart summary for the sake of calculation. Let us solve a basic problem so that you can get an idea what is that to be done. Okay. So there is a case of this a problem given there. Okay. So read the question first thing. And first thing is that when a question is given, my humble request, do not jump into answers. Read the question clearly, then start solving it. Okay. Without reading it completely, if you have started the answer and all gone. So my humble request, read the question twice, then start the answer. Okay. And also most important things for you guys, as you are attending your exams, the nearby exams and all, question numbers play a crucial role. If you are missing the question numbers, it's gone. Even sub question numbers also important. After solving every question, sub question, write the conclusion. It has good weightage. Okay, it really plays a crucial role for your success. So now let us go with the question. Do not waste our time and all. A project of Green IP Limited consists of 4 major jobs. Okay, for which 4 contractors have submitted tenders. Jobs are there and contractors are there. So basically, sir, how to solve and all, I mentioned steps. Now the thing is that why is a requirement? Sir, there are 4 contractors and 4 jobs. Okay, company point of view, if you are giving the job to whom, so that your job should be done at a minimum cost or optimized cost. That is the most important thing. So straight away, just we cannot allocate blindly like this or like this. It may be appropriate, it may not be appropriate. By luck, it may be, but our luck and all it is secondary. Now, there is statistical process to be done so that you can get the clarity. So there is a clear doubt for the company, which contract has to be given to which job and all. Then we are using what assignment when there is a doubt. Okay, and this is the basic summary or information given regarding cost. What is the cost to be incurred there and all. Okay, see the tender amounts in thousands of rupees are given below. So if a contractor is doing a job A, he will incur, he has given quote this. So for us, whichever is lower, lowest quotation will be accepted now. Am I right? Okay. So now each contractor has to assign only one job. The basic fundamental rule, ma'am. Basically, assignment has a logic, a basic fundamental standard that for a one person, one job only. Only one job for one person. For one machine also, one job. Okay, nothing more than that. Next, so what is asking, ma'am? Assess the total cost of the project. Okay, to save the time, I have drafted here. So there's the entire information given there. And presentation is most important, my dear buddies. Okay, if you're presenting them perfectly, then fine. So in this case, when we are having this problem, present it a perfect manner. Write this part once and then start the steps. What is the first step, ma? The very first most important step is, what is that, buddies? Sir, in exam, do not go with the different colors. I may be using different colors for my convenience. Okay, so you use only black exam point of view. So what is the first step, ma'am? Row operation. What is the first step, sir? Row operation. The row operation, basically, I'm copying the same matrix again. That will be good for me, basically. Okay, in exam, you can straight away start in the first itself. By the first step itself, you can mention that part and you can proceed. So basically, in this part, now Sir, what are the basic thing? What are rows? You need to identify what are rows and all. That will be good for you. So what are rows? So there are how many rows in this case? The very first check, number of rows equal to number of columns. So what are the rows? These are the rows. Totally how many rows are there, ma? 4 rows we are having. What about columns? A, B, C, D. 4 rows and 4 columns. So now what we should do, ma? Sir, as the rows are clear, there are 4 rows, fine. Okay. So first check, number of rows equal to number of columns. Then sir, the check is done because here the number of rows are represented with the letter what, ma? With the letter M. Here M equal to 4. What about number of columns, ma? 4. So M equal to N. The first check is satisfied. What is the next check, ma? Whether it is minimization model or maximization model. Sir, here he is given information regarding what, ma? Analyze and assign the job to appropriate contractor so as to minimize the total cost. So this information is basically what, ma? Cost related data. Sir, if I gave a contract or a job to a contractor one, I am paying some amount now. I am paying, that is my cost now. So this information is regarding what, my cost data. Is it clear? As it is cost data, minimization model or maximization model, it's a minimization model. Okay. So as it is clear and all, as it is a minimization model, we need to go to steps. That is the first step. What is the first step, ma? Row operation. So before solving a problem, check two things. What are those two things, ma? M equal to N, that is number of rows equal to columns, and minimization model or maximization. If it is minimization model, you can start. Okay. So now, what is the basic thing, sir? Identify, what do you have to identify, ma? In each row, least number. What is the least number in each row? So of this 4, what is the least number? 37 is the least number. And in the second row, what is the least number, ma? 20. And in the third, what is the least number, ma? 25. And in the fourth, what is the least number, ma? Fourth, it is 43. Sir, do not run, okay? Because in assignment and all, you may be taking 1 minute more. But if you are doing with a cool mind, it's fine. Okay. So what is the basic thing, ma? Row operation, we need to identify the least element in each row. So identify the least element, ma. In the case of row 1, what is the least element? 37. In the case of second, it is 20. In the case of third, it is 25. In the case of 4, it is 43. Is it clear? Clear, clear, clear. It's clear. Now what is the next step, sir? Sir, detect the least number identified from the respective rows. From each element, reduce it. And form a new matrix. Sir, by seeing this, what can be the matrix there, ma? So I'm copying it again. Sir, for me, copying is easy, but for you, it may not be. So you need not worry. So what is the least number there identified by 37? Na? Sir, 39 minus 37. 70 minus 37. 37 minus 37. 50 minus 37. Okay. And 20 is the least number identified now. 20 minus 20. 27 minus 20. 47 minus 20. 60 minus 60 minus 20. And next number identified is 25 now. So 25 minus 25. 37 minus 25. 58 minus 25. And 49 minus 25. What about next scenario, ma? 43. 43 minus 43. 48 minus 43. 46 minus 43. 50 minus 43. After deducting, you have to get a next matrix, basically. So what is the next matrix there, ma? Directly I'm writing here itself. For your convenience, I'm repeating this step. This is the most important step. So in the case of row operation, what are we doing, ma? We are identifying the least element in each row. What are we doing, ma? Identifying the least element in each row. Okay. So after identifying, what are we doing, ma? We are deducting it from the respective rows. Okay. Sir, when we are deducting it, in this case, what is the number we are getting in this case, ma? That is 2. Okay. In this case, what is the next element, ma? Next least number there, 33. Here it is 0. Here it is 13. Is it clear, ma? Check it properly, buddy. If you are checking them perfectly, then it's fine. Because, and one more thing, in the case of OEM, do not use your mind. Use the calculator, buddy. Okay. If you are using calculator, it will be very good for you. Is it clear, ma? So I identified the least numbers and deducted it. 37 is least, 2. and it is 33, and it is 0, and it is next one, it is 13. Is it clear? 50 minus 37. Now, what is the next case, ma? It is 0 here. Here it is 7. Here it is 27. And here it is how much, ma? 43. What about this case, sir? It's 0. And here it is 12. And here it is 33. And here it is how much, ma? 49 minus. It's a 24. What about next, sir? It is 0. It is 5. It is 3. It is 7. Sir, after row operation, I'm getting this matrix. What is the next step, sir? Column operation. What is it, ma? Column operation. Sir, how to do column operation, sir? Sir, by using the same matrix. Okay. For the sake of our convenience, I am copying again. But you need not copy multiple times. You can do the same heading there itself. Sorry. The next is what, ma? Column operation. So for a column operation, heading is most important. Column operation. So in the case of column operation, what are we doing, ma? Same like rows, row operation, in the same way we're doing column operation. What is that, sir? Identify the least element in each column. Okay. So in this case, the least element is there are three zeros. Any zero is fine. Okay. So fine. Next, in this case, 5. In this case, 0. In this case, it is 7. Is it clear, ma? After identification, what is the next process, sir? The number should be deducted from the respective columns. Okay. So by deducting, we can get a new matrix. What is that new matrix, sir? What is that new matrix, sir? I'll represent this in the next part there. You can write the same thing in the same step, ma. Just mark it with a pencil, highest number, and form a new matrix. At the end, what is the result? That is, you have to mention in a separate part. So if you go like this, okay, 0 is the least number, so it will not affect anyway. But here, it is 5. So automatically 5 minus 5, 12 minus 5, 7 minus 5, 33 minus 5. Here also will not affect. Here 7 minus 7, 27, 4 minus 7, 43 minus 7, 30 minus 7. Okay. So the new thing will be here it is 0, 0, 7, 2, and here how much more? 28. So this 0 anyway 0, no, it will not affect. Here it is or what more? It is 0, and here it is how much? 17. And here it is how much more? 36. Alright, 36. And here it is, sorry, here it is 6. So now we are done with the row operation, column operation. So these are the first two steps. Is the second step clear, ma? But if you are clear with the column operation, row operation, the column operation is very, very easy. Okay. So now what is the next part, sir? In the next part, we are going for test for optimality. Sir, what is this test for optimality? Sir, test for optimality is very, very important. So listen carefully, ma. Okay. Shall we? Yes or no? With some energy from you guys. Okay. Definitely yes. So now the next step is what, ma? After row operation, column operation. Sir, one more thing, most important thing is that when we are doing row operation, whatever you are getting the end matrix is a starting matrix for column operation. And in the column operation, whatever end matrix you are getting, it is a starting part for test for optimality. Okay. One step ending point will be next step a starting point. Okay. So now what is the next step? My third step, as per the rule, the third step is test for optimality. What is that, ma? Test for optimality, sir. So what we have to do, sir? In this case, as usual, whatever matrix you are obtaining earlier step has to be taken as the step for this starting point. So in this case, what we need to do, ma? Basically, you should be in a position to, what you have to do, ma? The check, there should be some sort of checking. The checking process should start always from rows, and next it will go after completion of all the rows. You can go for a check with the columns. What I should check, sir? What I should check, sir? A row with a single zero. What is that, ma? Row with a single zero. I have to check it. I have to identify a row with a single zero. So in the case of first row, is there a single zero, ma? Yes, sir, there is single zero. Superb. Okay. When there is single zero, am I clear? What are we checking, ma? We are checking rows with a single zero. Sir, is there a row with single zero? First row there is single zero. Then strike the column. Sir, first mark the zero. It is a single zero, sir. Now what we need to do, sir? We have to cancel the column that is having that zero. Sir, I'm cancelling it. Fine. Is it clear? Next, what we should do, sir? Next, sir, next go with the next row. You check. You check the next row. After completion of each row, then you go with the columns. Sir, we are checking the rows with a single zeros. Shall we go the next one, ma? So in the next column, is there a single zero, ma? Yes, sir, there is single zero. Superb. Then what we need to do, ma? We need to mark it and we need to cancel the column. Is it clear? If it is clear, sir, is there any third row with single zero? No. What about fourth row, ma? No. There are two zeros. Now, what is the next process, sir? All the rows are being checked for single zeros. If single zero is identified, we marked it and we cancelled the column. Then we are going for a check with the columns. How to do this, sir? Basically, in this case, check the columns with the single zeros. What is that, ma? Check the columns with a single zeros. So now in this case, what are the columns? Sir, when a column is being striken, do not consider it. Consider other part. Sir, when lines are covered, they are striken. They are no more. Check the other part. Sir, B is not being striken. Is there a single zero? Yes, there's single zero. What is the next thing, ma? We need to mark it, sir. We need to mark it. Finally, marked, sir. Then we have to cancel what, ma? Respective row. Is it clear? If it is clear, sir, now we are done with the test for optimality. But here, whether we reach the optimal solution or not, there is a cross check. What is that cross check point, sir? M equal to, sorry, one second, no. Oh. M equal to N equal to number of allocations. Okay, if this happens, then we reach to the optimal solution. Sir, but here, are we reaching the optimal solution, ma? No. Why no, sir? The reason is that, sir, how many rows are there, ma? 4 rows. How many columns are there, sir? 4. But number of allocations made by you. What are those allocations, ma? Nothing but these. 1, 2, 3. Only 3 allocations are done, sir. So this will be not equal to 3. So when it is not equal, m equal to n equal to number of allocation, it is not equalized. Then go for improved matrix. What is that, sir? Improved matrix. For everything, the basic fundamental rule is that for row operation, what is the end matrix we are getting? That will be the starting part for column operation. In the column operation, whatever last matrix we are getting, that will be the starting part for test for optimality. If the test for optimality, if m equal to n equal to number of allocations, then fine. We reach the optimal solution, then we can go for optimal allocation and optimal solution. But is it proved there? Is it satisfying that condition? No. As m equal to n not equal to number of allocations, we have to go for next step. What is that step, ma? Improved matrix. What is that, sir? Improved matrix. Sir, in the case of improved matrix, what we should do and all, basically I have mentioned here this point. Sir, normally first listen, ma. In the case of improved matrix, sir, we need to identify the least element from the uncovered elements. Sir, these are uncovered elements, no? These totally 6 elements are there uncovered. Among these, identify the least element. Sir, is it 28 least or 2 least or 7 least? 2 is the least from all these uncovered elements. Okay, so this 2 should be identified. This number should be done normally 3 adjustments. So you have to categorize entire matrix into 3 categories. That is junction, covered, and uncovered. 3 categories. What are those 3 categories, ma? Junctions, covered, uncovered. Sir, whatever the item element, least element identified from the uncovered elements should be added at junctions. And for the covered, do not do anything, neither plus nor minus. Do not. Okay. But for uncovered, deduct. Is it clear, ma? Sir, we need to categorize when we are going for improvement matrix, ma, when the test or check is being not satisfied. What is the check, sir? M equal to N equal to number of allocations. If it is satisfied, fine. If it is not satisfying, then we need to go with the next step, that is improved matrix. Sir, what we need to do improve matrix? Just categorize the entire matrix into 3 categories. What are those, sir? Junctions, covered, uncovered. What are junctions, sir? What are junctions, sir? Intersection of 2 lines. Here there is one element, na? That is junction element. Even here there is a junction, na? For that reason, I humbly request you to go with the pencil for CMA final SCM exam. Even the CMA inter students who are writing OM, they also opt for this. It will be good for you. Am I clear? Sir, if I am clear with this part, now in this case, what is the least number? Mark 2 is the least number at junctions. Sir, here I'll add here and here. These two are junctions now. There I will add. Sir, uncovered elements. From that I have to delete. That is the point. So from covered, nothing. No adjustment is required. Is it clear? If it is clear, the same part is mentioned theory also. Sir, what is improved matrix now? All the elements in the matrix of test for optimality should be categorized into 3 elements. What are those? Covered, uncovered junctions. Just I change the order. That's about it. Next, identify the least element from among the uncovered elements. From the uncovered elements, you have to identify least. Okay. If least element is identified, then not found. So add at junctions, detected and covered. For covered, nothing is required. Is it fine? Shall we do that part now first? Okay. So we shall do that part once. This is a matrix we got there. I'm representing here. The test for optimality we got is, and now the least element is what now? The least element from uncovered is 2. So where we should add, sir? Here we should add as their junctions. Nothing but 2 lines intersection is junctions. So while you are drafting the lines and all, be careful and present them properly. Okay. And these are uncovered now. I will change the color. That will be good for you. -2, -2, -2, -2, -2, -2. And form the new matrix now. What is the new matrix there, buddy? Just I'm arranging in the same matrix itself. You can form in a new way. Okay. I'll present it separately. It will be good for you. So now, so this is nothing but what now? What is ready for this? It's improved matrix. What is this, sir? It's a improved matrix. So for improved matrix and all, basically these lines are not required now. We'll draft them again. Basically, 1 second now. So we made some sort of adjustments now. Fine. This part will be 2, and here it will be 5. Am I clear? Yes. Here it will be 4. Here it will be 34. Here it will be 15. And this will not be getting affected at all. And here it will be 26. Here it will be 0. Here it will be 5. And this also is not getting affected. And here it is 8. And here it will be 8. So this is a new matrix we got after doing the improvement step. Now at the improvement step, what we need to do, sir? Is it clear now? Everything is fine. Everything is covered, being adjusted properly. And now, so same as usual, we can go for test for optimality. What is the test for optimality, sir? I am repeating in the same matrix itself. So what we should do, sir? Basically, test for optimality. So in the test for optimality, we need to go for check of each row with a single zero. So here there is single zero. Okay, fine, I'll cancel the column. Next, there is single zero. No single zero, ma. Two zeros are there. So in the third, there is single zero. How to cancel which part, ma? The column part. Clear? So now any other rows with single zeros? As all the rows are checking is done, now go with the columns. In the case of columns, in the second column, it is two zeros. Not possible. And in the third one, it is already cancelled. Now, when it is cancelled, do not consider it. In the fourth, that is D, there is single zero. Mark it and cancel this. Done with the columns also. Now again check. Here we have to go for check for test for optimality until unless all the zeros are covered. Okay, sir, we have to repeat the test for optimality step, that is checking of all the rows first, one by one with a single zero. Mark it and cancel the column. If rows are done, go with go with the column part. In the same way, columns will check it. If it is done, then again rows. Till when, ma? Till all the zeros are covered by the lines. Okay. Now I am checking the rows with single zero. So is there a chance? No. Is there a chance? Yes. So mark it and cancel what, mark columns. Now the check is that, sir, whether m equal to n equal to number of allocations. Sir, M4, N4, number of allocations. So how to get 1, 2, 3, 4. Superb. We are very happy. Okay. So now we are having the allocations of the fine. Now whatever solution we got is the optimal solution, but it should be presented in a proper manner. It's an optimal allocation. Just allocation. We need to get what optimal solution. Okay. Shall we? So till here it is done. Have a quick recall, ma. First, what is the first step, sir? Basic first step, ma. Row operation. Next, column operation. Test for optimality. If test for optimality is reaching, that what is checked there, ma? M equal to N equal to number of allocations. If it is reached, fine. Then what is the next step, ma? If it is not reached, the next step is improved matrix. So improved matrix, what are we doing, ma? From the uncovered elements, we identify the least element. And that least element is adjusted at the junctions added. And from the uncovered deducted. And we form a new matrix. Again, the repeated test for optimality. While you are repeating test for optimality, you are checking the rows with single zeros. If zero is identified, single zero, then mark that zero and cancel the column. Okay, if all the rows are being checked in a proper order, then go with the columns. If all the columns are done, again go with the rows. So till when? Till all the zeros are covered by the lines. Okay, now we reach the optimal allocation. So we need to find the optimal solution. So now we reach the point where our cross check is done. What is next to be done, sir? Here, you need to be very cautious, ma. The last matrix we obtained here should be compared with the matrix given in the question. Okay, I'm repeating this point. Here at hurry and all, with the 3 hours examination, you may be fast and you may be taking some wrong decisions. Do not. Be cool with these problems. So whatever last matrix we obtained, what we should do, ma? This matrix should be compared with the matrix given in the question, sir. What is the matrix given in the question, sir? This is the matrix given in the question. Okay. Now I'm comparing with that this last matrix with this. The matrix is done. This. So end matrix, whatever we are getting, we are comparing with the question. Okay. So now the column will be clear. So the contractor and the job given to him is allocation, and we get the cost. The cost part is nothing but solution. Okay, that is optimal allocation, optimal solution. Then add the word. One word common is that optimal is common. So I'm rearranging this more. Optimal allocation, optimal solution. So who are our contractors, ma? So here we are having 4 contractors. Who are those contractors? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now see the allocation. That is important, sir. For contractor 1, what is the job given? Job C. So right there, ma. The allocation done there is C. For contractor 2, what is the job given, ma? The job given is B. Okay. So for a contractor 3, what is the job given, ma? For a contractor 3, the job given is A. For a contractor 4, what is the job given? Finally, the job left over there is D. And one more basic rule, ma. Here, one person, one life, one person, one marriage, one person, one wife is safe. If you're going for other option, life is really risky. One is more, okay. Facing one is very, very tough. If you're opting for more and more, gone. Okay. One life, one person, one life. The same way, one person, one job. Okay, for sure. That is a basic rule. So we made allocation. Now, what is the solution, sir? So in this case, just compare our last matrix with the question given there. Sir, here, sir, for C, what is the value of that one, ma? 37. Sir, here it's C, na? For 1, we have C. For 1, C, that is 37. Is it clear, sir? This is the value. Now, what about that? You mentioned that one over there. That will be 37. And what about 2, sir? For a 2, we are having B. For a 2, it is B. That is 27. And for C, oh, sorry, for 3, job A, that is 25. And for 4, it is last one, that is 50. It is 50. What is the total, ma? So 7, 7, 14, 19. And here it is 1. Here it is, how much, buddies? 39, 139. Okay. So now as it is a cost given there in the question, 139, what are the measurement units has mentioned anything? Nothing. So what is the value of what is the total cost? Sir, we are done with the Roman number 1. We analyzed it and we assigned the jobs also, that is allocation part. Okay, to minimize the total cost of the project. Next, assess the total cost of the project. What is the total cost of the project, ma? What is the total cost? Sir, what is the total cost, sir? This part is the total cost. Okay, that is 139 is the total cost. Am I clear with assignment, ma? If I am clear with you for the sake of assignment, shall we go with a quick recall? What we have done, sir? Sir, basically, we are following with the steps. What is row operation, sir? Before row operation, what is the basic cross check, ma? Whether rows equal to columns and minimization model or maximization model. If rows equal to columns and it's a minimization model, follow these steps, sir. But if rows equal to columns, but it is a maximization model, what we have to do, ma? We have to convert into minimization model, sir. But sir, rows not equal to columns, sir. Then what we have to do, ma? We have to add a dummy where there is shortage. In the place of rows, shortage, add a dummy row. If there is shortage in the case of columns, add a dummy column. Is it clear, ma? If it is clear, sir, then the first step is what, ma? Row operation. From each row, identify the least element and deduct it. What about column operation, sir? Column operation main motive, same as row operation. From each column, we are identifying the least element. Then go for test for optimality. Sir, test for optimality is that checking the rows with the single zeros and mark the respective column with a line across it. When we are crossing, be careful. Those elements are not at all present. Okay, so once we are reaching the test for optimality, if it is satisfied, fine. If it is not satisfied, we go with the improved matrix. Is it clear, ma? Sir, diagonal allocation and all is very, very easy. I will give with one basic problem. Normally, at the last stage of diagonal allocation, I will present it. Basically, no issues, ma. Sir, normally there can be, in the case of here to the step, there is no. When we are going with improved matrix and all, after that we are going for optimality. In the optimal test and all, normally we are searching for single zero, but there can be a scenario where more than one zero is left and not covered by the lines. More than one zero is left and not covered by the lines. Then we have to go for what, ma? Diagonal allocation. Okay, select any zero random basis, select diagonal zeros. Okay, and from there go to diagonal zeros. And here also, what is the basic principle? One person, one life, one person, one wife, one person, one. Okay, not more than one. The same way the rule has to be followed, and you can do it. Okay, so is it fine, ma? This is a part of basic assignment, sir. Why? What is the reason of assignment, sir? For a company point of view, there may be in a situation or they may be in dilemma for which contractor, which job should be allocated, for which mission we have to do which job, so that our target or our main motive should reach. What is our main motive, ma? To optimize the cost or to minimize the cost. Okay, this is the part of assignment. If you are having any doubts regarding assignment part or any problem to be solved, immediately I will post the answer. You can post in the comments. Okay, am I fine? Is it fine, ma? So